The construction of the Egyptian pyramids has been a subject of fascination and debate for centuries. Several theories have been proposed to explain how these massive structures were built. Here are some of the most prominent construction theories. The exact method used in pyramid construction remains a subject of ongoing research and debate. Many Egyptologists and engineers continue to explore and refine these theories to better understand the remarkable achievements of the ancient Egyptians in building the pyramids. The ramp theory. Construction of the ramps. Workers would have built ramps using a combination of mudbrick, limestone chippings, or other materials. The choice of materials would depend on the availability of resources at the construction site. Ramp placement. Ramps were positioned adjacent to the pyramid. For example, in the case of the Great Pyramid at Giza, the straight ramp theory suggests a long straight ramp might have been built leading up one face of the pyramid. Transport of stone blocks. Workers would transport the colossal stone blocks, often weighing several tons, to the base of the pyramid. To do this, they might have used sleds, rollers, or lubrication techniques, like wet sand, to reduce friction. Placement on the ramp. The stone blocks were then dragged or rolled up the ramp. As each layer of stone was added, the ramp would be extended upwards to accommodate the growing height of the pyramid. Zigzagging ramps. In some variations of the ramp theory, the ramps might have zigzagged back and forth across the pyramid's face to lessen the steepness of the incline. This allowed the workers to move the stone blocks more easily. Disassembly of ramps. As the pyramid's construction progressed, sections of the ramps would be disassembled and their materials reused for the construction of higher sections of the pyramid. Finishing and casing stones. Once the core of the pyramid was built, casing stones made of Tura limestone or other materials would be added to the outer surface. These casing stones provided a smooth, polished finish to the pyramid. The internal ramp. Spiral or zigzagging ramp. The internal ramp might have taken the form of a spiral or zigzagging path that wound its way upward as the pyramid was built. This would have allowed workers to move the stone blocks to increasingly higher levels of the pyramid. Transport of stone blocks. Stone blocks would be transported into the pyramid's entrance, typically near the base of the pyramid. From there, they would be hauled up the internal ramp to their intended positions. Avoiding a long external ramp. One of the key advantages of the internal ramp theory is that it eliminates the need for a long, visible external ramp that would have extended from the base to the top of the pyramid. This addresses a common challenge raised against the traditional external ramp theory. Construction sequence. As the pyramid was constructed layer by layer, the internal ramp would have been adjusted or extended accordingly to accommodate the changing height of the pyramid. Before moving to next theory, please like, share and subscribe to my channel. It will immensely help. The lifting device theory. Efficiency in vertical movement. Cranes, if properly designed and operated, can efficiently lift heavy loads vertically. Counterweights can help balance the stones being lifted, making it easier to transport them to higher levels of the pyramid. Raising stone blocks. Workers would attach the stone blocks to the crane or lifting mechanism, and the devices would be operated by a combination of human and animal power. A workforce could raise and precisely position the stone blocks with less physical effort than dragging them up ramps. Reduced need for ramps. Unlike the ramp theories, the lifting device theory suggests that there would be less reliance on extensive ramps, which might not need to reach the top of the pyramid. Maintenance and skill requirements. Operating cranes or counterweights would require a high level of engineering skill and maintenance. Workers would need to be well trained in using these devices effectively. Supporting evidence. Some Egyptologists point to inscriptions and depictions in ancient Egyptian artwork that seem to show possible lifting devices in use, although the interpretation of these depictions is a subject of debate. The wet sand pouring theory. Preparation of wet sand. Workers would create a mixture of wet sand, water, and possibly other substances to create a lubricating layer on which the stone blocks could be moved. This wet sand mixture would be poured or placed in front of the stone blocks as they were transported. Reduction of friction. The wet sand would serve as a lubricant, reducing the friction between the stone blocks and the ground. This reduction in friction would make it easier for workers to slide or roll the heavy blocks. Sleds or rollers. Stone blocks were placed on sleds or cylindrical rollers to distribute the weight and make them easier to move. Workers would then pull or push the sleds or rollers over the wet sand. Water management. Managing the water content in the sand mixture would be crucial. Too much water could make the sand too soft, while too little water would not provide sufficient lubrication. Workers would have needed precise control over this mixture. Slope or ramp use. It's possible that slopes or ramps were still employed, but the wet sand made the process of moving the stone blocks on these surfaces much more manageable. The leverage and counterweight systems. Lever mechanisms. Workers would use long wooden beams or levers to lift and maneuver the stone blocks. Levers provide a mechanical advantage, allowing workers to lift objects much heavier than they could with their raw strength alone. Fulcrums and pivots. A pivotal point, or fulcrum, would be used as a support for the lever. The stone block would be placed on one end of the lever, and the other end would be raised or lowered, causing the stone to move. Counterweights. To balance the weight of the stone block, counterweights could be employed. Workers would add or remove stones or other heavy objects on the opposite end of the lever until the system achieved balance. This would require careful calculations and precision. Transport to higher levels. The lever system would not only help lift the stone blocks but also assist in moving them to higher levels of the pyramid. As the block was raised, it could be repositioned onto a platform or sled for further movement. Efficient use of labor. Leverage and counterweight systems would have allowed the efficient use of labor and reduced the physical effort required to move the stone blocks. Tools and materials. Wooden beams, ropes, and stones for counterweights would be the primary materials used in this system. Aliens or advanced technology theories. Some proponents of the ancient astronaut theory suggest that extraterrestrial beings with advanced technology visited Earth and assisted or even entirely built the pyramids. They argue that the precision and scale of the pyramids couldn't have been achieved by ancient human civilizations alone. Lost ancient technology. Some alternative theories propose that there was a lost, highly advanced ancient civilization or technology that predates known human history. According to this perspective, this advanced knowledge was used to construct the pyramids and other ancient monuments. Claims of alien involvement or advanced lost technologies are generally considered pseudoscientific and speculative. These theories lack empirical evidence, and they often neglect the achievements and capabilities of ancient human civilizations. Researchers continue to study and refine our understanding of ancient Egyptian construction techniques, which are more plausible explanations for the construction of the pyramids. I hope you likes my efforts to buck up me. Please like, share and subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching.